This is the Ego Powerhead multi-tool bristle brush attachment. So if your job involves using a bristle brush to brush things a lot, this might be a tool for you. If it doesn't, it might not be unless you get a good deal on it. Because this guy here is $280 if you want to buy it new at Lowe's. I've seen it for $209 on Amazon at a discount, but I could not imagine spending $200 on just the ability to bristle brush. It requires a Ego Powerhead, and the $200 to $280 price I was talking about is for the attachment only, not with the $150 Powerhead. Now the only reason I have one of these is I found a deal on eBay for a used set that included the bristle brush attachment and a Powerhead for $200. And I figured having a second Powerhead would be nice because I have the edger and the tiller and I don't like having to switch back and forth between them. So I figured if I had two heads I could not have to switch. I'll have a backup head in case something goes wrong. And having a brush is nice. In the back of my head was kind of the vague idea that this mechanism that turns this guy at a relatively good clip, it has this little hexagonal shaft. Seems like you could make something that would go on that and make kind of a paddle boat paddle wheel where you could use this to push a model Mississippi River paddle boat type boat. So, just in the back of my head I was thinking I'm willing to pay, $50 for this guy and $150 for another Powerhead just in case I want to do something with that. Now this whole package, Powerhead, 2.5 amp hour battery, and the brush, weighs in just slightly over 20 pounds. Now most of that weight is on the ground when you're using it, so it's not too bad. But this is the Ego Powerhead line. It's kind of their pro line. It's not a lightweight consumer product, so this is a pretty hefty tool when you're carrying it around. So the bristle brush attachment is kind of in a weird spot halfway between a leaf blower and a power washer. So, stuff that's lightweight, dirt, sand, you can mostly blow away with a leaf blower. But things like mud that's stuck to your driveway, or moss growing on a deck, you can't really blow that away, but a bristle brush could definitely push it away. And this guy has a lot of power and a lot of speed, and it does a lot of abrasion pretty quick. On the other hand, it's not going to get rid of deep stains and stuff that's really baked into stuff. So, you might need to get the power washer out to finish a job and get something really clean. So it kind of depends, on that sweet spot. I took this thing over to a deck, I brushed the whole deck, and you can see the improvement. It's definitely making a benefit here, but I ended up pressure washing the deck afterwards to get it, as good as I really wanted it. So I have this area of the driveway where all the water collects and it drops off dirt and stuff. And, it's a lot easier to get the brush out here and brush it off, and it does a little bit of good, but it's not a pressure washer. So this thing moves pretty well. The bristles are very stiff. The guard does a pretty good job of keeping stuff from hitting you. It does throw up some dust, so I recommend wearing a dust mask with it, depending on what you're bristle brushing. In general, my effective price for this guy was about $50, and I'm willing to pay that to have it on hand just in case I need to use it. But I don't recommend most people go out and buy this thing. If you are manually brushing things a lot, you probably look at this and say, yes, I need one of those, I'm going to go get it, and you pay the $200 to $250 just for the attachment. Unless you're brushing things a lot, you probably don't need it. And then, of course, if you're space constrained, there is the issue that this thing is like twice as big as the tiller attachment, so just finding a place to store it takes up a lot of your space.